without further ado, it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce my state representative, Anastasia Williams. Yeah.
Look, let's take a look. Just wanted you to read it for good reason. To God belongs the glory today, because this is definitely a step.
Yes.
But we need to see a step in what direction. I know that some of you present here today have heard sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But guess what? Names will certainly and have hurt me and hurt all of us. Plantation. Plantation. You hear that word and it brings you back. Without your TV being turned on, it brings you back to a time of oppression, of lynching, of cotton picking, of terrible times. So I am honored to be here today with all of you. I am honored to be here with Governor Raimondo. I am honored to be here with my colleagues in government to finally prepare, because some of you are here believing and feeling that this is a celebration.
No.
I take this, I carry this, I believe this to be a preparation towards reparation. Many people don't believe it, maybe because they don't understand it. But realistically, that's okay. Some have said 400 years cannot be addressed overnight. I challenge that. I challenge it because things can be done overnight if it's for the best reason, for good reasons. It can be done. It's been said that individuals observe racism. Yeah, but it's a difference when you live it. To observe it, that means you condone it. And it's been said that we're going to listen to what's being said. What have you been doing for the last 400 plus years? Listening. I want to be heard. I want you to understand what I'm saying. That my feelings, my experience, my struggle is real. It is real.
That's right, Rhode.
We are part of this community. We are part of a community. We are part of Rhode Island. Yes, we are. Because people of color built Rhode Island. So we are part of Rhode Island. Better yet, we are Rhode Island. It's been also said, it's on all of us. But you know what? It's always on us. When is it going to become fear? And the meaning, the words of it's on all of us, realistically, is in fact about all of us. I'm waiting. My grandfather and his sisters lived right on Cypress Street. My grandfather, Paul Cardoza Sr., was my mentor. 97 years old. A great man. A great family. Solid foundation. Integrity, courage, and loyalty. That's what runs through my blood. Black history is American history. It should have been part of our curriculum from the beginning.
I said that a long time ago.
We should not have had to legislate it to make sure that it's in our classrooms. So we still should not have to request.
That's right.
Because if you're teaching history, black history is American history. Every person deserves a chance. Absolutely. We have worked it. We deserve it. We have proven it. And it's been said, work hard, do the right thing, and you will succeed. We have worked our fingers to the bones. We have tried repeatedly to succeed, and we still don't get that chance. When we talk about mandatory bias training, I'm all for it, because none of us is too old to learn. None of us. However, if we must continue to train the same oppressors over and over and over again to teach them that what they're doing and saying is wrong, something is drastically wrong. It's not the training, it's the people. And it's the people that's condoning those people.
So what are we doing?
Community outreach. You know, we have some excellent black, brown, yellow, and others in our community, in our cities, and in this state that have been dismissed, pushed away, ignored, and let me tell you, they got it going on. They got talent that you can't find nowhere else. Right here in our state, right here in our city, right here in some of our homes.
Let's not talk, let's walk it, let's do it.
So, outreach, pick up the phone, baby. You know a person that knows a person that knows a person? I got lists. I got many lists of names of individuals who have applied repeatedly, but unfairly been bypassed. That must stop.
That's right. I agree.
Reform the Bill of Rights. Yeah, I put it in. My colleague in the Senate, Ana Casada, Senator Ana Casada, is a co-sponsor of that bill on the Senate side. Listen, there's a reason for every season. And that bill is not to study, but it's to change. We don't need no more studies.
That's right, that's right.
We have been studied, we've been injected, we've been dissected, we have been beaten, and we have been murdered. How much more studying do we need? So that bill is in for some action. Action to make a change where it needs to go. We have to make sure that we become the change that we are talking about. This must, this must, this must. If you want change, become the change that you want to see. So that change that I wanted to see on behalf of my people in the state of Rhode Island is in. Is in. We don't need a study commission of any kind to sit down and report back in February or in May that this is the problem. We know what the problems are. Are you ready to change those problems? Are you ready for it to be now? Then keep your eyes open, because July's coming. That legislation is in as of last Wednesday. That's change, that's action, and we're going to need you to come and express how serious you are for the changes. It's online. You can look it up, get familiar with it. You can add suggestions. I'm open for it all. I am not perfect, But let me tell you, I'm a warrior. I am a peacemaker, but I war and I for justice. Trust me.
I'm a kamikaze.
Trust me. Trust me. I believe in being part of the solution. And we have many solutions. The governor, my colleague in government, we battle, but she's got solutions too. She has solutions. The treasurer, he has solutions. But you know what? It took the death of George Floyd for people to say, oh, Rhode Island, we got a problem. No, Rhode Island, we have had a problem for a long time. Long time. Joe Almeida, Representative Joseph Almeida, put in this bill 10 years ago.
Yes.
10 years ago. And here it is, a whole decade later. Dr. Ruth Simmons came to Rhode Island at Brown University. President, dynamite, intelligent, beautiful, powerful woman. And she uncovered, she took all the covers off of the racism and started labeling, started exposing, started presenting, started showing all of what we had to empower us to take it over and change it. And a decade later, we are still here looking for someone else to do the job. Are you really ready for change?
Yes.
This is an opportunity. This is a season. We have the reasons. So we have to utilize this time. I don't want to hear that we're going to do and it can't be done overnight. Honey, many things are done overnight.
That's right.
In that state house, many things are done overnight.
That's right.
So nobody here who has the power to make the change that needs to happen is going to tell me that it can't, will not happen overnight. What I am going to tell each and every one of you, if you're ready, see, I stay ready. That takes away time from me having to get ready. As a strong woman of color, I have to stay ready because I have to make sure that I watch my back, my front, my top, my bottom, my ins and outs. And that is because of all the isms that is oppressing us. A lot of people don't like my boldness, but guess what? God made me this way. I was born this way, baby. And I didn't like it at one point, but you know what? I embrace it. Because when you speak truth, people ain't gonna like you.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, as long as it's truth, you don't have to worry about nothing. Nothing. You don't have to worry about what did I say, what can't remember who I said it to. My record speaks for itself. My allies are the same ones that I had back then that I have today. Equity contracts. COVID-19. $1.25 billion. Billion dollars. I would love to be able to go to Target and get me some shopping done with that. But all jokes aside, that was a moment for all of our minority contractors in the state of Rhode Island to be able to benefit right here in their home state. That was an opportunity for everyone, big and small, that has a business here in the state of Rhode Island, for which they pay their taxes, that have to travel to Massachusetts in order to get employment, and we can get it right here. Missed out on that opportunity because a waiver instantaneously can't do something overnight. Well, that was, honey, that was immediately. A waiver where they did not have to contract any minority contractors. Imagine. I know because I got the paperwork on that. One contractor, almost $900 million. $34 million to some of our minority contractors. That would have been a lot of scroll for them to have been benefiting to this date. We don't have a second bite to that apple. That apple is chewed up and ate up and it's gone. We as a people, as a black and brown community, as our Native American community, must unite. We must stop being the weakest link. We must stand and demand what's ours. And I'm not saying that it's not yours, because it is. What I'm saying is you need to organize, you need to mobilize, and you need to strategize. Because see, as Senator Metz said, we can't do it alone. But one thing for sure, you can look up my pages, you can look up my record, and you will see what I have been doing. And I could not and have not done it alone. See, when I come to the table, I know what I bring at this table. I know when I come through the door, people only see me. But when I come through a room, I'm not alone. I know when I sit at a table, I know what I bring to it. When I leave, you know how we like to have our doggy bags. I know I'm leaving with my doggy bag. And I'm not talking about a personal gain doggy bag. I'm talking about my people, my community, my city, my state doggy bag. My record will reflect that. Having been victorious with many things, because many knees have been on my necks also. Not for 9 minutes, but for many years. So that contract stuff, that bidding stuff, listen, out of that money that's there, you better start claiming it. I know what's there. You better start getting aware of what's there and what you need and claim it. Call your elected official, your state elected official, your senators, and your representative. Don't be afraid to ask the question. Many of us are like, I don't know. Listen, you know how to pay that cell phone bill. If you don't know the number, ask Siri. She will answer it. She'll get it for you. It's less work than it used to be. And you have that tool right in your hand. This disparity study, there are many studies with many data that has been done throughout the years. What's the problem with these studies? They have not reported back like they should, and we're going to 2015. The judicial system, we're supposed to have had a study about the stops. The stops that were being done to minority black men or black folks on the street. Call and see if you can get that study. Call the State House and ask, what's their latest one? Trust me, if they tell you 2017, that's because they caught up. But you can bet your bottom dollar they're not up to date. That's how much they value us. They don't have to get it done. But you be late with your taxes and see what they do to you. You know, in order for us, and I speak for me, right here, to rise together, we need to heal first. And for me, the healing process starts with opportunities. And those opportunities don't have to be studied. Those opportunities don't have to be figured out. Those opportunities, the same way that they have them all set out for those individuals that they value, can be reversed, can be expanded, can be shared. Period. 400 years is a long time. But even longer than that is where our ancestors suffered. I'm here today to say, Governor Raimondo, thank you for what you have done. It's not, for me, a step, but it's a preparation. And I know, because I know, and you know I know, there is a lot that we can do together, and it would please the whole black, brown, indigenous, LGBTQ, everybody, including the Caucasian community that's been benefiting for years without us, including them. If you would, in fact, put all of what you said in action, opposed to, we're going to study, we're going to train, we're going to talk. Action. I know that you have some excellent staff people in your staff. Not all of them. Let me tell you 3 that I need to mention. Stephen Kavanaugh. You talk about a ride or die. That's one of the governor's staff person. Ride or die. Okay? We have David Cruz. David Ortiz. The peacemaker, needs the credit. These are individuals that you don't see. They're not in the front, but they're doing a great job. And then you have Danielle Connors. He's the bridge builder. So it's not as though the staff is not available. It's not as though the individuals are not intelligent to know how we can put all these words into action. That's what needs to happen now. This is the season, and we have all the reason for those things to be put in action now. No more. For me, it's no more. So I'm leaving it up to each and every one of you to join the governor to rise together with this vision to change the equity and justice that has been plaguing the community of color for decades. Mentioned in schools, contracts, employment, health, housing, to name a few. If you're in it to win it, you gotta put the fire to the governor, and I'm sure she's willing, and if she ain't ready, she's gotta get ready. Because if you're serious, and respectfully being said, if you all are serious, if you've had enough, and you want real change, instead of lip service and all this plagiarism, let's rise together. Let's knock it off of all this talk. Let's do it realistically together. It's about inclusion, and if it's really about inclusion in the state of Rhode Island, we must make that change. Period. Thank you all.